Hello, this is David from DN Cognitive Counseling. Today I want to talk about something that has changed in our society. There used to be a statement, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me." Today, that doesn't seem to be the case. We have been running under a myth that verbal abuse is equal to physical abuse. Now, I worked in the ER for many years, and I could tell you firsthand how many people came in with incredibly severe injuries due to physical abuse. Women who have been abused by husbands, men who have been abused by girlfriends who were upset or because of cheating. And I will tell you, the wounds and the damage was incredibly severe. Now, I'm not saying that verbal abuse is not harmful and causes damage. But in order for people to elevate the verbal abuse, they've equated it with physical, which is really unfair and actually psychologically damaging. Because what has happened is that people now have an inability to tolerate verbal abuse in any shape or form, and it quickly escalates to physical abuse, which is a lot more dangerous. You can kill people with physical abuse. You cannot kill people with verbal abuse. You can send people to the hospital with physical abuse. You can't send people to the hospital with verbal abuse. Now, psychologically, is verbal abuse damaging, specifically to children? Absolutely. And am I condoning verbal abuse? Absolutely not. But to equate physical abuse with verbal abuse is a disservice to people in general. And it was interesting because I was actually having a session today where somebody was sharing with me about the idea of getting into this physical altercation because of the verbal component. And he actually said to me that, well, verbal abuse is is equal to physical abuse. And, it really struck me. I don't know how many of you right now are watching the series Cobra Kai. It's very popular on YouTube, and the truth is it's really very brilliant because psychologically it pits what the framework of today's mindset is against the framework of the mind of yesteryear. And it does a really good job of opening up those barriers and those differences. And I think one of the reasons why it's so popular is because people resonate with the idea that we need to be tougher emotionally and physically. And in the show, it really promotes that idea of toughness. So I want to try to push back on that myth that physical abuse is equal to emotional abuse or verbal abuse, as they say. But they're not equal. Not to say that it's good, because it's not, but it's not equal. And I want to put the idea specifically with kids, but adults as well, that physical abuse should never be tolerated. Not by anybody. Now, should we deal with verbal abuse? Again, absolutely. And can verbal abuse be damaging? Absolutely. But physical abuse should not be tolerated. Physical abuse leads us to go to jail, and should. Verbal abuse should never lead us to go to jail. I could think of certain cases, but in most cases, it should not lead people going to jail. You shouldn't be locked up because you say things that are inappropriate. People even cursing at people, which again, of course, is inappropriate, doesn't lead one to lose their freedom and rights. But when a person violates somebody else that put them in danger by hitting, that does change things. And I think, again, as a society, it's important that we put things in perspective correctly, because when we don't, it sets up people to believe certain things. The idea that I feel that I'm being attacked from a verbal level now gives me the ability to attack you physically and retaliation. And that's a line we should never cross. I hope that you find this helpful. I hope that you'll share this video with people. And of course, that you hit like if you like this video. If you disagree with me, I'd love to hear why and to open that up. And the other aspect I would like you to think about is subscribing to the channel. I mean, I'm very honored that we've had so many new subscribers recently, and I hope that continues. And I hope those of you who find this, what I'm trying to do, as a worthwhile endeavor, will go to Subcribe-star and become a patron. Thank you very much.